Alabama fedora thing. Yeah. He's a good dude. Yeah, I got nothing. You sound way better, different with your haircut.
Thank you.
You're louder.
Am I?
Yeah, I think your hair was taking up a lot of the. Yeah, it was like a sound buffer.
Yeah,
like a damper.
Well, yeah. I suppose I was going to argue it was covering my ears, but that would mean I would have talked louder to overcome.
It was covering my ears. That's what I meant. Yeah, it was just it's all over here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of Your Morning BJ. I'm your host, Brandon Allen, along with my co-host,
Jason Latona.
And this is episode 37. Wow. 37.
That's
Boom.
I remember 37.
I remember 37. I don't.
You don't.
I'm 33.
I know.
I'm a child.
I know you are.
Yeah, I know. So episode 37, we have on a fun guest tonight. Our boy, yours truly, Chan.
You see what I'm doing? Oh, I was taking. It looks like I'm jerking off, but I was rolling the dice. We was gonna take a chance.
Oh, I was getting ready to catch it.
Yeah, boom. That's what I meant. Chan Shaw. Yeah, no, Chan Shaw.
Yeah, we got Chan Shaw coming on tonight. There's been a couple developments over the weekend in terms of tournaments and stuff like that. Or actually, it was today. It was released.
You told me about this. I have no idea. I'm in a cave right now.
Yeah, I know. Maybe this is a little pushback to all you guys on in the arm wrestling groups, which I know I shouldn't pay attention to them, but on Facebook, talking shit on Larry. Oh, he's giving up arm wrestling. He's done. I'm like, no, dude, he's just working on some other shit.
Yeah.
With that being said, he just announced that they're going to be hosting an amateur King of the Table tournament, which will be held right before the King of the Table event. That'll be for local Emirates.
I'm not mistaken. I think it's called Prince of the Table.
Prince of the Table.
Yeah, that would make sense. And then if you win,
that's a great idea. We should pitch that to Adam Silver.
Yeah, we should actually fuck Adam. No, let's just do our own. We'll do Prince of the Table. Right. You know they had the bottom 8 up in Canada. Yeah. We should just do Prince of the Table.
We can do that.
Yeah, or Queens, Queens of the Table. We can do it. Hello.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they got an amateur tournament that'll be held before the event. I'm not sure if it'll be like part of the pay-per-view. I doubt it. I assume it'll be like a free thing. That they'll probably show online and then maybe do a summary of it or maybe highlights of it on the pay-per-view. Yeah,
what they should do is almost like, not that they probably are doing, not that they're not smarter than me, but do someone like the UFC does with the free prelims.
Yeah.
Get people watching, and then during the prelims, you just spam.
Arm wrestling will get there.
Yeah, but I'm saying you spam them with the pay-per-view event. So maybe if you're on the fence, you get to watch a free event. You're liking it.
In fact, I would argue it's already there. Just the location for King of the Table is what makes it difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was in like Eastern Europe or if it were in like United States,
like Vegas,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
We should call after we're done.
I ran a tournament. They cost money and they suck. Everyone everyone hates you, and you just spend all this time and effort for months and money out of your pocket.
But your problem is because you did it at your old gym. You should have done it at T-Mobile.
You're right. If I did it at T-Mobile, it would have been better.
It would have been more expensive, but it would have been awesome.
It would have been a little more expensive. I would have lost a little more money.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how much they charge you down at Sin City Iron for day passes.
It would probably be comparable.
About the same, I would imagine. Yeah. There's probably $8 more at T-Mobile.
Yeah, probably a little more.
Yeah.
Maybe like 50,000 more.
It could be about 50,000. That's not so bad though. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got I just saw someone caught my eye in the chat with this head, but we'll go to that later. It's talking about our friend. But what were we saying? Oh yeah. So then there's a pro tournament that Larry is going to be hosting, which will be on October 28th, which I think is a couple weeks after. It's October 1st, right?
Sure.
So at the end of the month, right around Halloween, they'll be having a tournament at the Emirates Cup, like the bodybuilding show, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think it's an expo, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So kind of what they do with Olympia here, that kind of thing.
That's the vibe I'm getting. And that's international, and that's anyone's invited to come do it. If you think you're good, you can win it. And then they're paying out like 10,000 rubies, so like $6 or $7.
I was gonna say that's about $7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd be worth the flight.
If you win like 3 or 4 times, you can afford us.
If you're a pilot and you get free fuel, you should do it.
John Brzezinski could probably get there. He could fly. He gets free mile. You have enough Sky Miles now.
I think I have enough Sky Miles to go.
Yeah, you're out in San Diego.
Maybe I can do it.
As you see that segue I just hit you with?
That was awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this weekend we went to me and my wife went to Grinder Gym in San Diego to Dave DePue's grip event.
Mm-hmm.
It's called arm lifting, if you be specific, which is basically just means grip events. It was three lifts I've never done before, but Dave hit me up about a week ago and just sent me the link to it. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. We'll come out. And then we're going to drive out there and like, San Diego's a 6-hour drive or so from where we're at. And, the cost of fuel right now with the dogs, you're like, you had mentioned to me about getting tickets for the event on September 24th, plane tickets, and they were cheap. So I looked them up and they were cheap. So we literally flew out Saturday morning and flew back Saturday night to San Diego.
Awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, because it's a 45-minute flight.
It's way better than
a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
And it cost me less for the plane tickets, like much less for the plane tickets than it would have cost me fuel.
Yeah, when we Sarah and I went out to Disney a month ago now, it would have been like our round trip was like 120 for both of us to fly out there. Yeah. And that would have been like one-way gas.
Yeah. And then my buddy Alan met us there and filmed it. So we'll have a video for you guys of the whole event. I know I posted a short of just like the lifts, but we'll have a cool video of the whole event.
And more importantly, you got a haircut.
I got a haircut. My hair was getting too raggedy.
And I was going to cut my hair and Brandon beat me to it. So I'm stuck in a hat. I'm actually going to get extensions now. Fuck it. I'm going to have long hair.
I trimmed the beard up, everything. It feels good.
I had no idea who you were when I opened the door because you're so thin now too.
I know, 273 this morning.
Damn.
Yeah. So at that grip event, there was 3 of us in the 275 class.
I was going to say, so there's weight classes in that then.
Yeah. And then there was open 275 plus.
Okay.
And there was just Dave and this guy, Mike, who was stronger than me. So he like won the whole event. And then I got second overall and I got first in my class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Thanks to all the guys that competed. There's probably like 10 or 12 of us there.
No, I saw you were doing like, so what are some axle lifts? Like what were the 3 lifts?
So the first lift was a single arm fat grip deadlift.
Okay. That's right. That's the first one.
And again, I've literally never in my life done one of those. Why would I?
Sure.
And I didn't know whether I want to do like a suitcase carry to the side or carry it from the front, which I ended up doing it from the front. So the way the event was held, it was like a ladder event where you just start adding weight and you just jump in and hit attempts and then let them know when it's counting or something like that.
Okay. So with that lift, I saw, you went almost like a one-handed, like sumo deadlift is how it looked like, right?
Yeah, basically.
So, but you could, if you wanted to do a suitcase carry.
On the side, but you had to be full grip. You couldn't go thumbless.
Oh, wow.
If you could go thumbless, I would have did a suitcase carry thumbless because I'm stronger cupped, way stronger cupped than I am gripped. I know that's not the case for most, but it is for me. And then, but sideways suitcase carry, because I did some of those too on the warm-ups on the lighter weights. It was harder to stabilize.
And so you're doing the normal 2-inch fat grip, the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one. I'm not sure what size
2
it
inch.
is.
Yeah, 2
is it 2 inch? Someone asked me. I said I think it's 1.5. But yeah,
I think it's like 6 inches. Like something like that.
That's like 10 inches.
That's about 9 inches right there. Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So so it was that, and then again, like I jumped in early. So I was, mind you, I worked out the day before hard. Like I didn't train for this or peak for this. I did a 250-mile Harley ride the day before. So to say I was like primed for an event would be an understatement.
Sure.
I just wanted to go have fun and support Dave.
Yeah.
And then that one mutant dude showed up that was stronger shit. So I knew he was like, hey, he trains for the shit. I was like, you're gonna win this. I'll be happy to get second. But yeah, so that event, I jumped in early, got super fatigued on them, just alternating arms.
What were the other 2 lifts? There was one that looked like a
Saxon bar, which is a 4x3-inch bar,
right?
like a block, basically.
I know what it is. Yeah.
And that's the first time in my life I've ever touched one of those.
Okay.
And I did a 204-pound Saxon lift, which the guys were saying it was pretty good for the first time ever touching the bar.
Sure.
So that's cool. And then the last event was a hub lift, which is like the stupidest thing in the world.
Is that the like this?
Yes,
the round circle.
Right? Yeah, like that. I did way more than I thought I would do.
Because it's like 30 pounds is like hard like that.
I literally thought I was gonna do 35 pounds.
Yeah, like but it is. It's like legit hard.
And then because the guys that were going in before, like I jumped in at 30 and 30 just felt heavy as fuck.
I'm sure. Yeah.
First time I ever did in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, better maybe only 5 more pounds is all I got. I ended up getting 62 pounds.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah. I was happy with it. No technique, no nothing. I just grabbed it and went. I didn't know how to do it.
Gotcha. Do you think now though, do you think you may train specifically for these type of things moving forward or
maybe incorporate finger stuff more because I know that can help me too. But the reason why I wasn't doing so much fingertip work with Jed was because we're focused on cupping. You can only recover from so much. And I just believe that the cupping work is going to benefit me the most, which I think you would agree.
I would agree.
Yeah. So again, though, I had a good time, man. It was fun. It was like the way to explain it, like me and Jenny were talking about it, it reminds me of like how powerlifting used to be for us. Like when I first, when Jenny came into the scene, I was already pretty serious, but not fully serious about it. But like even before Jenny, powerlifting meets used to be fun for me. I'd go there, we'd bullshitting, have a good time, lift. We love lifting. That's what we do. And then it started getting serious, you know what I mean? And then I started pushing it way too hard, jeopardizing my health for it and things like that. Where this is the day, it was total blast.
You know, it's funny. It's an interesting segue because someone that we talk about here and there because of their opinions. I don't know if you saw the video RBJ put out over the weekend. It was one of the first videos I was like, you know what? I actually agree with everything he says. And he said it's almost not what you're saying, but it's kind of in the same vibe where he's like, you know, you start out, lifting weights, you're a trained guy, you get into arm wrestling, and then you get obsessed. Yeah. You start doing, instead of doing full range of motion, you're sacrificing your health for, and obviously he talks about the PD stuff, but he's even talking just like your mobility and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, maybe the guy can hold like this, but you can't throw a fucking softball now with your kid. You know what I mean? What are you giving up? That's
what powerlifting became for me, where I lifted weights to be health. Like, I don't know, health is the right word, but I have lifted weights since I was 12 years old. I always will. That would never get out of me. I've always wanted to be large in life, super bro, juice head type. It's always just been my dream. That's what I want. So that'll never go anywhere. But then force feeding, and then the PEDs as hard as I was pushing them, and the numbers I was doing were insane. Like, look at my knee fucking snapped. Like, my quadricep completely snapped off my knee and rolled up into my hip. That's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's not good at all. And then on top of all the other injuries that I've had, countless of them, tears, I'm dealing with them today. I can't, you see after I'm sitting down for a while, getting up, I have a bad hip from a motorcycle accident too, and also lifting and things like that. Yeah. It sucks.
But that's what you're saying. It's just like, you take anything, whether you're a gymnast, gymnasts at certain levels are, the epitome of almost like peak physical condition, but then you take it to that next level, nationals, you're broken down by 20. You're like an old person because your spine and your knees and your joints have taken such a beating.
That's why arm wrestling is an old man's game.
It is, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that thing about him, he was just saying, he's like,
I didn't see it. So yeah.
Yeah. But long story short, he was just like saying his moving forward he's like 18 years of training. He's like, his best version of him, in his opinion, was the healthy guy, the guy that had full mobility, the guy and he's like, that's what he wants to get back to,
That's good for him. Awesome. I didn't see, I'll have to.
It's a good video. He said a lot of things I really, really, really liked, and it was nice. Anyway, my other news, I just want a couple things that we were talking about before, and I want to make sure we get to them. East West 5, the full card has 100% confirmed now. Really great matches. Too many right now because Chance is going to be on in a minute. Maybe we'll talk about it with him. The bigger news, I think, that me and you are both like scratching our head about, is the fact that it's official now. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have, that Ryan Bowen is having a super after pool.
Yeah.
Is that what would you call that?
I'd call it a clout move.
Okay. Yeah, I would too. But he's having a super match with Khaled after Schoolboy pulls Khaled. And it's confusing.
I think Khaled and Schoolboy, like this, I know we have different opinions on it, and I think Khaled and Schoolboy will have a war, and then Schoolboy will win. But then Khaled is just going to hold Ryan center table, all tired.
We don't disagree on that. Yeah, that's the part we 100% agree on.
Is going to hold him center table.
Yeah, it's strange. I just think, I mean, and we had Lachlan on last week, and if you haven't watched that show, go back and watch that show. We had Lachlan Adair on, which is just an awesome dude, so much fun to have.
Go watch that episode if you haven't.
Yeah,
it's three dudes shooting the shit, no bullshit,
and it's fun. Yeah. And again, no punches pulled. Lachlan telling you'll feel, if you didn't know how much Lachlan loves Istanbul, check that out. He'll tell you. And he
loves it.
He loves Istanbul. But it was just like one of those things. I feel for Lachlan, man. He's got this awesome match coming up against Irakli, King of the Table 5, and it's like, I mean, I don't know, or maybe I'm just, in my opinion, Lachlan's kind of in the shadow of, I don't want to say the wrong thing, true. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's in terms of limelight, like popularity, he's definitely in the shadow of Ryan.
And I get that, and I applaud Ryan for what he's done. But it's like, man,
I don't fault Ryan. For
absolutely
being
not. No, and I don't fault him for going after.
But going on this card with and then the video, like when he was acting like Khaled called him out.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about?
I don't get it, man. Like, it's weird.
Like, I've been defending you, and now it's making it really hard.
It is. I agree. And I love Ryan, and it's cool. He's putting again. If you're into content, he's got it. And
But then like this, like trying to play this like super villain role, you see, it's like so WWE.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, like shorts come up, you know what I mean? When I'm in the garage playing, like so some shorts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
it's like your shorts come up in the garage. I've seen it. Yeah,
they come down.
Hello.
Yeah. And then I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear? I have to replay it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think it's so strange, man. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I hope Ryan's okay. That's at the end of the day. I feel like that's kind of what it is at this point.
Yeah.
I hope the guys are right. And it's just like I said, if, hey, have a match, whatever. But again, I wouldn't even want to have that. It's like Coach Ray said this, it's a lose-lose situation. If you win, right? What is the thing? They're going to say, dude, you just beat a guy who doesn't arm wrestle after he already arm wrestled. If you lose, you beat a guy who's already tired, who doesn't, or who lost to a guy, sorry, who doesn't arm wrestle, who's already arm wrestled.
Yeah, I know. And then like,
is your clout, or like you're saying,
yeah, I see people like, oh, it's for the paycheck, all this shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what it's for. It's fucking lame.
And I think it can seriously hurt your brand. I mean, I know they say
again, I'm not gonna, hold on one second. Let me let me pull that back a little bit, because I am excited to see the match. So there's that. So let me be clear on that. I'm not trying to act like I'm not excited to see the fucking match. That's for sure.
No, because
what if Ryan pulls it off? Cool. Then you beat a guy that's not an arm wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. You beat a guy who already arm wrestled. Hey, if he went first, I wish Khaled like used Ryan as a warm up for Schoolboy. That would almost be more appealing, you know.
There's no that I wouldn't want to see that. I know the outcome.
I do too. You don't want to see that?
I don't know the outcome when maybe Khaled's been in a war, right? We don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. No,
we have a pretty good idea.
I 100% know the outcome. In my opinion, I 100% know the outcome. If he would pull Ryan first.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he would. I think he'd try to slip. Interesting enough though, like Devin said, Devin alluded to, what are the rules set? Are they going to an auto strap? Is it going to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure moving forward, King of the Table, you have to earn the strap. I think only.
Oh, really? I thought otherwise.
Well, no, because if you look at the last match, King of the Table 4, only Levon and Devin went to the auto strap because they were under the King of the Table 1 rules. Everyone else had to slip to get to the strap.
Right.
And so I would imagine that it's that rule set. I haven't heard yet confirmed.
So Khaled there's no way.
There's zero way
he slips.
Ryan slips.
There's no way.
Unless Ryan comes in just oiled up like GSP from the early 2000s. And there's no way he's slipping out of
gap in the hand is like me versus Sarah. And I love Sarah. Sarah's stronger than fuck.
I actually think it's closer. I think you guys may be. I think it's Sarah. You may be closer than Ryan and Cal in
potentially
in a straight up hamstring.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Sarah's closer to me than Ryan is too.
Well, think about it. Let's just say you said you got 63.
Yeah, think about a crushing strain.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
there's no way she can slip from me if I don't want her to.
No.
Right. So do the math.
But again,
there he is. Look who we are. We have Chan Shaw, ladies and gentlemen.
I still see the better chance of slipping than Ryan does.
Yeah.
There he is, Chan Shaw.
How's it going, gentlemen?
We are wonderful, Chance. How are you doing, brother?
Thank you for joining us.
Can't complain. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. How you been?
Can't complain. Little sore.
Yeah, you look like you're losing weight in the face a little bit.
I am. Thank you for noticing. I'm like 285 now. So
damn.
Call Playboy.
It's the lightest I've been in a long time. When I was in Sweden, I got up to like 320. So
your voice is way deeper too, dude.
No, it's not.
You sound really.
Have your balls dropped yet?
That's what it is. His balls dropped and that's his weight came off and his voice got deep.
We've been talking. He's been tanning his nuts. He showed me a picture. He's like, "Is this acceptable?" I said, "Absolutely."
It is. Liver King said to get out there and tan your balls. He actually literally
I just watched Derek's video on that. Actually,
that's a real video. That's not a lie. This is a real thing. I
literally watched that video too.
Okay, okay, it's a real fucking thing. Yeah.
Are you guys nerds like me and watch everything Derek puts out on More Plays More Dates?
Yes,
I literally
pretty much.
Yeah, I watch everything. Him, Vigorous Steve, Leo Longevity. Like I watch all this.
I like the Gorilla Chemist too.
I do watch him too.
The show The Gorilla Chemist and Derek talking about fertility drugs and things like that, or like a lot of that information is what I'm using for what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
And like my fertility doctor, he huge fan, watches his show too.
Sure.
Knows about all of it. And we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, there's this episode you should watch. And I'm like, I just watched that episode.
I literally won't let Sarah watch it. Like I watch it. She watched it and I gave her the Plan B pill just because it's so fertile. It's so potent. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't want to take any chances.
All right. Chan Shaw, my friend, we just, you had a couple matches recently. You had a battle with Ron Bath, came out super strong. Obviously didn't go your way, kind of gassed out. What did you learn from that match? What are you going to do differently? Anything from that?
Yeah, I learned that I need a chair. That's like the number one thing I'm going to look for now in a super match. Can I have a chair between rounds? because
Oh,
I'm too
really?
yeah, I'm too fat to stand between rounds. I was like leaning on the table, like huffing and puffing, like I can't catch my breath.
See, I literally thought, Chance, I literally thought you meant like you WWF's WE style.
Yeah, you're gonna hit him with a chair.
No. Like
Good idea. Shit.
I just need somewhere to sit.
Okay, that makes sense.
But also I started doing cardio, so I'm sure that helps a bit as well.
It's gonna help a lot, man. You should just completely ignore that idea about a chair and just make yourself physically more superior.
Yeah, but also a chair would help.
I like the chair, Chance.
Yeah.
Fuck the chair, dude. Don't be a
I mean, it helped with Zurab because listen, between Ron and Zurab, there was 2 weeks and I did 0 cardio. So I wasn't in better shape. I just sat down.
Yeah, well, I guess that's, I mean, was Zurab, would you say Zurab was not as strong as Ron?
I think Zurab was stronger than Ron, but Ron has a better hand. So Ron went where I was weaker. Zurab went where I was stronger. But if Zurab had hand control and I was here, I don't think I could have dragged him across like I did Ron. Huh. In round 2 with Zurab, I could feel his arm strength at least.
I was going to say, because stylistically, it just looked like when I thought, and again, we haven't talked Trans, obviously, and again, congrats on the East versus West performance. Super. Thank you for holding it down for the West.
I tried.
Yeah, I know you, Derek Smith. What the fuck were you doing? Super awesome performance. But that was one of the things I thought. People were talking about gas or everything like that, but because you gassed out during the Ron Bath match. But again, I just thought stylistically, I just felt Zurab is you're gonna be kryptonite for that dude, and you don't need to worry about your gas tank if you're just gonna run dudes over like that. So again, it was awesome to see, man.
But you need to get in fucking shape.
I'm trying.
I'd say get a bigger chair.
So try.
Maggie's been making me wake up every morning at 6 and go to the gym. So
she's a saint.
Yeah,
That's just bad. That's just mean.
Oh, it's good.
I'd wake up in the morning to give you a big soft chair.
Yeah, thank you.
No, get in shape. You don't need the chair. You'll be better off. So cool. You have a match coming up. Well,
you had a King of the Florida, right?
The tournament you just did, King of Florida, you won.
Yep. Yeah, King of Florida. I think my class had like 13 or something like that. I ended up winning undefeated. Chris Chandler took 2nd, Andre took 3rd, and Carl Stanley took 4th. I don't know who placed after that.
So Andre was in your class, yeah?
Yeah, it was 220 plus, and Andre was like 230, 235, something like that.
That's a pretty big open 220 and over. That's a lot of
huge
dudes.
Class.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And congrats just on the handsomeness of your shirts. They look fantastic, man.
Thank you.
And RVJ was down there, yes?
He was.
No, did he? I didn't see any video or anything like that. Did you guys get the grip up? Did he pull? Tell us about that.
No, he didn't pull. He said he practiced on Wednesday and he was a bit tender, so he didn't want to enter. Makes sense. He's getting prepped for Zurab. No reason to hop in and tweak something. Mm-hmm. And then he did side table pull a little bit with a couple guys, but I didn't have a chance to grip up with them. I was reffing all day. And then I competed, and then I took pictures and I left pretty much.
Gotcha. And where was it in Orlando? Where was the event?
Yeah, it was in Orlando, Castleberry, but Orlando.
Okay. Yep, I know Castleberry. Actually, that's usually where I lived when I lived down there.
Yeah, there you go.
So what else, Chance? What else is going on with you? Like Brandon was saying, you got matches. I know you're going to be
at a Monster Factory.
Yeah, with my wife at Monster Factory. So we'll see you down there. And December 10th. Do you have anything before that?
No, nothing before that. I'm going to Sicily in September, but that's not for a match. There's like Arm Fight Factory, which is like promotion for youth arm wrestlers, and they invited me out there to help with whatever they need, seminars or motivation, whatever the case is. So I'll be out there for a week, and then I'm going to Arm Wrestling Uncensored 3 in November. But again, I don't think I'm going to have a super match there. I think it'll just be more seminars and things of that nature. So as far as super matches go, I don't have anything until BJ in December.
He's finally listening to me.
Nice. And are you?
It's so hard to say no, Brandon.
I know.
I've already said no to like 5 people. I'm like,
I know it is. I've been doing it for the last fucking year since my match with Larry.
That's what I love. I'm hiring Brandon as a coach just to let me rest for 1 year. I just want to make sure I rest for a year.
You only have so many in you,
No, I feel you. And the other thing, Chance, so you said no super matches. Does that mean you may pull in a tournament here and there?
No, I mean, I don't plan on it.
Okay.
I'll probably pull all Florida tournaments just because, they're right here. Everything's within an hour, so there's no reason not to. I'm going to be there reffing anyways.
Right.
And if they're giving away cash, like to me, it's just an easy payday. I may as well collect a couple $100 while I'm there reffing. But other than that, no, nothing out of state.
Cool. So then your next match would then be at Monster Factory versus BJ Fakakis.
Best name.
Yeah.
Fakakis. We had a hard time saying that at first because we're like reading it. We're like, I don't know how to say this shit.
I love his name.
Yeah, but now that I hear it enough, I'm like, it's fun to say too.
It is a fucking fun name to say. Now, I was going to say, this is a chance. I have a question for you. A question that Brandon usually asks our guests, but he probably knows this answer. For me and for other people who are watching, what's a week look like for Chan Shaw as far as your training, as far as your gym training, table time? Like, what does that look like for you?
So
couch shopping.
Yeah. So I hate to say it because Brandon is in charge of keeping me in shape as far as like programming and whatnot. But I've been extremely lazy for like the last 4 months.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't really done anything. A couple table practices, if I really, really have nothing going on and I'm bored, then I'll show up. But I've just been relaxing mostly. But this week, like I said, Maggie started getting me up at 6, and the plan is to train really hard leading into my match with BJ, and then hopefully I have something in January as well. So yeah, it'll be 4 days in the gym from what Brandon writes me, and then Saturdays table time.
Gotcha.
So I'll elaborate on that more. Basically, Chance will
what do you want him to do?
Basically, he's going to be doing powerlifting style training.
Okay.
With hypertrophy work in there as well.
Sure.
In terms of accessories and stuff like that. Bigger muscles always have potential to be stronger muscles. But we focus on the main 4 that I focus on, which is squat, bench, deadlift, and overhead. Obviously, a higher emphasis on the bench and the overhead work, strict standing overhead work. And then the squat and deadlift just improving his overall strength.
So
squat's not as important as deadlift. Deadlift actually does, I think, have some carryover in terms of core strength, back strength, ham strength, all that. So again, the squat is there for maintenance and slight increase, but the bench we push hard. Deadlifts are medium. Strict overhead press we push hard.
And this is specifically for, you think the overhead press, like bench press, then have a higher carryover for arm wrestling?
Yeah, just any upper body, right? What I mean, is going to improve you on the table. And then a strict overhead press, you use so much core stability doing it, and so much.
And you're doing barbell,
barbell,
exactly.
Not dumbbell,
correct?
Yeah. I mean, you could do either, but there's just such a high risk of doing a dumbbell.
Yeah.
That I think the risk isn't worth the reward.
Gotcha.
Unless you're like a real newbie and you're very weak, not very strong, then you're pressing overhead dumbbells, which is hard for you to do. Yeah, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Like 20-pound dumbbells. But if you're, like Chance's strength or something like that, where you'd be overhead pressing 150-pound dumbbells or something like in that range, 100-pound dumbbells, it's just such a risk of injury. It's not worth it.
Sure. I understand. Now, Chance,
one thing I am going to add that I haven't added in the past is I'm working my hand a lot more now. After whatever gym session Brandon writes me, I'm going to be focusing on my hand a lot, because my hand and wrists have really been my downfall. It's kind of, in my opinion, what's keeping me from getting to the next level. Because against a top roller, my wrist is always failing. I feel everywhere else I'm pretty conditioned. So a lot of focus into cupping and rising.
Because your style typically is, do you train? Is that correct? You're more of a low hand top roller. Do you train?
I used to be like a low hand top roller, but now I'm taking more of like a mid grip, like not all the way posted, but just in the middle. That way I can still have the ability to push down and drop for a hook defense, but I can also keep it high to help against top rollers. Because when I found when I'm always all the way down, I got top rolled so easy. Sure. But now that I take more of a neutral grip, like somewhere in the middle, it's not as bad.
But like for someone like Zurab, you use that kind of the lower style, right? Because you kind of know where he's going.
I wasn't really worried about Zurab. He has kind of a smaller hand, and from what I had seen when he pulled John and when he pulled Ron, it didn't seem like his wrist was so strong. And F.A. Comic, who pulled him on the left, was also telling me that his wrist he almost just gives it. It's so weak. So, or maybe not weak, but he's not so worried about it, I should say. So really, I was just loading a little bit of back, and the only thought process was cupping and going over. So if I was worried about Zurab's hand, then yes, I would drop to a low hand, but I wasn't, so I didn't need to.
Is his arm like significantly shorter than yours, or how close were you guys in terms of?
I don't have a very long arm. I mean, we didn't compare, but I wouldn't imagine that his is much shorter than mine. I mean, maybe an inch or so, half an inch, something like that, but not.
Yeah.
Not as big of a difference as like my arm to someone like Tobias or BJ.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you have a match coming up with BJ Fakakis. I know that's a long arm. That's a big boy. What are your thoughts going into this match? We have a lot of time, obviously, to get you ready for it. So it's not like it's tomorrow, but what are the main things you're going to be focused on to handle someone with such a long arm compared to like your other matches?
I've pulled a lot of big guys with big hands and long arms. I don't think that I need to necessarily change anything in my training. The only thing that I'm focused on is improving. I'm not going to be training specifically anything for BJ. So, general gym strength and hand strength is what I'm going to be training, but that's not necessarily just for him. That's just because that's what I need.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. Chance, you haven't been on, like you've been on this before. So lots of stuff has happened since the last time you were on. Again, we had an awesome event with East West 4. We have an awesome card coming up, East West 5, King of the Table 5. Like in your opinion, I mean, because I know you're you're a student of the game, and like, what's your take on the trajectory of arm wrestling right now? And what do you, going back, like in any of those matches, like for East West 4, even the King of the Table stuff, like, is there something, a match you're really excited about, a match that surprised you in retrospect? Again, I've lived it on the show, like the Todd versus Prudnick. That match kind of went how I thought it would, not maybe, a little more violently than on Prudnick's way than I thought, but like, what's Chance Shaw's thoughts on all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So you asked a few different questions there.
Sure,
so to start with, where do I see arm wrestling going? Every year, I think, wow, this is the biggest year that I've experienced in arm wrestling, not just for myself, but for the sport, it seems, as a whole. And this year is no different. This year seems extremely mega as far as arm wrestling goes, not only for the athlete, but for the viewership as well. I know the numbers that King of the Table pulls is insane. East versus West, of course, right behind that. There's talks of WAL coming back. So I think arm wrestling is on an amazing trajectory, a lot to do with, East versus West and King of the Table, a lot to do with guys like, like Larry coming in with a bigger following, guys like Devin pushing it really hard and doing collaborations. There's a lot of arm wrestlers on social media now as well, which I think helps. Even if none of us have mega channels like Devin and Larry, if all of us are bringing new eyes to the sport, it helps overall. As far as any matches I'm excited about or any that surprise me, I'm surprised all the time. I'm like 50% on my predictions for East versus West and King of the Table. Like, I think I know arm wrestling really, really well, and then I always pick matches wrong, and I'm like, I guess you never know. It's any given day. But I get excited about every single match on every card pretty much, unless I think it's just so one-sided that it's not going to be interesting.
Interesting.
So speaking of sides, I think Brianna and I are like, we're in each other's mind. We're sending you psychic vibes. So one of the things that Brent Chance, what the hell do you think? We got to just ask you. And I know you were smart.
He lost to Bowen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, which I don't even know how to feel about that. When I thought about that, we were like, should we even have Chance on here?
I don't think we can.
Like
in the fucking show.
But what is going on, Chance Shaw? Like, as far as like, what is your take? And like I said, I think you're a really respectable young dude. You're super well spoken. I like you a lot. Even if your cardio sucks. But what do you think? What the fuck's going on, dude, with Ryan Bowen and like all these things? Like, as a purist, like, what is your thoughts on this stuff?
I don't know if I would call myself a purist, but
okay. Compared to Ryan Bowen, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. Taking any matches to promote yourself. It's something that I would personally do as well. Like, I understand from that perspective. I don't know if I would have taken this match specifically, because to me, it's a lose-lose, kind of like everyone is saying. Coach Ray is saying. I've heard you guys talk about it a little bit as well. If he wins, he won against a tired non-arm wrestler. If he loses, he lost against a tired non-arm wrestler. So really, there's no plus for him other than he's getting paid. It's king of the table, so we know he's getting paid.
He asked for it. Like, he literally asked for it. Like, made a video talking about it. And
Maybe for him it's a foot in the door. Right now he's on that king of the table stage. Maybe he thinks it'll give him a better chance to get invited back. I don't know. I haven't talked to Ryan about it. I think that Ryan has a better chance than you guys do, though, because Schoolboy is going to control Khalid, I think. And if he decides to take it slow at all, that's going to burn out Khalid. Also, if he decides to go fast and Khalid is loaded up and then gets blasted through, that hurts. That doesn't feel good on your arm, and it's a lot easier to get opened up after that. So, being that Ryan's going to be fresh, coming in bigger than he did against Ray, I think that Ryan has a chance to win. I don't think it says much, but I think he can do it.
Well, hold on. Now let's say that Schoolboy and Khaled's match is going to be the first match of the card, and then Ryan and Khaled's match is the last match of the card. Does that change your opinion a little bit?
No, that's not enough time to matter.
Not enough time to recover? Okay.
No. Okay. If it was a cardio thing, sure, but I don't think it's going to be a cardio thing.
What about if Ryan and Khaled went first?
Like a fresh for fresh Ryan versus Khaled. Yeah. I would say that Khaled is the favorite, but I wouldn't say as heavy as a favorite as you guys think, because Khaled is not a good arm wrestler.
Did you get the grip up with Khaled?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of insight on this, being that I pulled with both of them. But like I said, Khaled is not a good arm wrestler, number one. He never claimed to be. He's just really strong. He's genetic freak. Number two, he's not even training for arm wrestling. I talked to Botter, which is his sponsor. He does all the grip stuff. Maybe you've seen him, but he's Khaled's sponsor. I talked to him at East versus West, and he was like, yeah, Khaled says he doesn't need to train. He's not going to train. He won't even do hammer curls in the gym. He's going to beat Schoolboy regardless. And to me, that's not a good mindset to have going into a match. So again, I guess it gets back to, I think Ryan would have a shot, but I would still pick Khaled as the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I think Schoolboy is going to do.
I just don't even think that's even close.
Yeah, see, I think Schoolboy is going to do whatever I think Schoolboy is going to be Khaled. I
agree.
I honestly believe. I think Schoolboy is the favorite over Khaled too.
Yeah, I think he's going to beat him pretty dominantly. I'll just say this: I'm going to be surprised if Khaled can do anything with Schoolboy. I really will. Like, I mean,
he's going to hang on for dear life.
He might, yeah.
And then get pulled.
That being said, though, I don't know how serious Schoolboy's been taking it either, because he doesn't seem to be as interested in it as everyone would want him to be. He seems a little bit more casual. That's just what I've seen. So if Schoolboy hasn't been training that hard and hasn't progressed much, it could still be a close match. We don't know where he is either.
My instinct tells me he's training.
I think so too.
Yeah,
maybe. I hope so. He has so much potential. He should be.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Brandon was saying something about, I don't know, like, is him and I, before we got on here, is a match with the winner with you taking on the winner of that match. Is that something that would interest you?
I would actually love to face the winner of Khaled versus Schoolboy. I'm not too concerned about what happened.
I wasn't talking about Brian Bowen. I was talking about
I'm not too concerned with whatever happens with Ryan afterwards. To me, that's not impactful. But I would love a match with the winner of Khaled versus Schoolboy. I predicted Schoolboy. I've been wanting a match with Schoolboy. We haven't been able to set it up for some reasons, but I mean, make it happen. However, I do think that if I was Schoolboy's manager, I would not accept a match against me, because that would not be good for his brand.
We're trying to sell a fucking match here. Shut up.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, like, I understand it if you're scared and you don't want to face me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
are you
sense.
officially saying that you would love to have a match against the winner of Khaled versus Schoolboy?
That is what I'm officially saying.
There we
Awesome.
go.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think you're, I kind of said for you, when me and Brandon were talking about, like, I was like, yeah, dude, because if you're again, agree or disagree, if you're the general public, you're not an arm wrestling purist, you're a general public. And I said, hey, who's the best arm wrestler in the world? There's probably two people you're going to say, either Devin Laird or Schoolboy.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, they're the best arm wrestlers in the world to the general public, to the masses. Maybe even ET, the arm wrestling whisperer guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's
But
pretty good.
He is pretty good. But you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what you're alluding to, where, who the hell is this random, dude with bad cardio from Florida that's going to beat the best guy arm wrestler in the world? I think that's what you're trying to say in a nutshell. Yeah.
Sure.
I think Chance gets whooped by him.
Yeah, Chance, you can get whooped by both of them. I think Bowen fucking comes out of retirement and whoops you after he beats Khaled and Schoolboy.
Again?
Yeah, again.
Maybe I should pull Schoolboy, then Khaled, then Bowen.
That would be awesome. I think that would be amazing.
That would be
Dude, that's
awesome.
what you need to do. Chance, you need to fucking make a video. Guys, calm down.
Girls. Yeah, no, that would be awesome.
I mean, dude, Chance, you're literally one video away. Get on your social media, get on your YouTube, and say, this is bullshit. I'm going to take on Schoolboy, Khaled, and
I was actually thinking today, like, man, maybe I should just call them out. Maybe I should just make a video calling them out.
Okay, you should. Well, you're doing it right now. We'll clip this and post it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Throw in Gabby too. Show them that you can beat up women too at the same time.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
No.
Yeah,
I have too much respect for Gabby. She'd probably beat me.
Yeah.
Just pick a random girl to beat up on them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We just want to see. Yeah. Get off the couch and start whooping people's asses, Chance.
Girls.
You're too nice. You're
Girls'
too nice.
asses.
Yeah, he's too nice. What else you got?
I don't know. How do we segue after beating up girls?
I don't know. I got my. I usually go to bed.
So, Chance, I know I'm always pushing to tell you to kind of pull back a little. Oh, hold on. We got a $10 super chat from the White Wolf. Brandon, congrats on getting a grip. Oh. There's a lot of those there.
Okay, man.
Thank you, White Wolf. So I'm always trying to push you to kind of turn down matches and get stronger and, go from the next one, give yourself proper peak and things like that. After your match with BJ, do you have any plans? What's in the near future for Chance Shaw?
I may have a match in January.
Jesus, this kid. With who?
Listen, it would be a very good match if everything lines up overseas. So it's not confirmed, so I can't really talk about it, I guess. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
overseas. Oh, so East versus West 6.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
Could be anything. Could be anything.
It could be anywhere. You don't know.
It's definitely East versus West 6, but sure.
Or he's going to Brisbane and taking on Bowen with a hustle strap. What about East versus West 5? Anything on there? Because I'm looking at the card right now. It's again Engen, awesome. Is just putting out the matches. Anything on that card that you're particularly as a fan, just that you're interested in, that you're like the one match or a match or two that really stands out to you?
To me, it'll be really interesting to see how Revaz versus Morozov goes. I think both of those guys are underrated. Like, I think both of them are top 5 in the world. So I'm curious to see who's the better athlete out of the two of them. I have a feeling that Revaz might just control the whole match because, yeah, I mean, he's coming back. He was at a really high level in the world before he retired, and I mean, based off of what he's been doing already, I do think that there's a really high possibility that Revaz is going to be too much. But that's why we have to have these matches to see how it goes, right?
Were you surprised that Artem beat both Dave and Cody?
I was surprised that Artem beat Dave. I was disappointed that Artem beat Cody, but I shouldn't say I was surprised. They have Artem ranked number 1 in the world for a reason. I think Cody is probably closer to like top 5-ish. So I would have liked to see Cody versus I'm sorry?
Corey West.
To me, that's gonna be one-sided. Based off of last time they pulled, at least.
Yeah. We're talking left-handed, dude, right?
Left, of course. I mean, right-handed, it would be even more one-sided, just the opposite direction.
Yeah,
right. But I don't know. I would have liked to see him against Tobias or someone like that.
Yeah, Tobias is going against. He's going against Artem, right.
Yep. Which I think Tobias won't be ready. It's not enough time. They pulled in February. So, I mean, to me, that's not enough time to close the gap because it was a pretty significant gap. They're pulling on the left or on the right.
Artem and okay, I would imagine
Was Artem and Rivas?
Oh, it's left. Yeah.
left, right?
Revis
Artem and
is-
Tobias is left, right?
Yeah.
Right, Revis is right hand.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too. What else? And anything? What do you think about freaking Adam and Bodazar?
I think it's a really good match. Ingen was messaging me, asking me like what I thought about it, like
Yeah.
if I thought Adam was ready and whatnot. And I think Adam versus Bozadar is going to be a hook war. I think it'll be just as good as when Bozadar pulled David Samusha.
But Adam's definitely the bigger guy, right? He's a 200-pound guy, isn't he?
Yeah, so Bozadar will be pulling 85 kilos at Worlds in October, and Adam walks around like 95 kilos. And the weight limit, I think, is 92 or 93 kilos. So I would expect Bozadar to be maybe like 87, 88, and Adam to be at the 93. So it'll be like a 5 kilo difference, not like a huge
crazy.
difference.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Right. And I mean, a match I'm pumped about is Bishop and Mendagas. What do you think about that match?
I think it will look similar to Corey versus Prokopchuk
In whose way?
in the East.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm rooting for Justin, but
Of course. Right.
Justin is just coming off of the couch. He made a video like 6 months ago talking about how he's quitting arm wrestling, and now he gets offered a match and he'll be ready by November. I don't personally see it happening, especially when you're pulling someone like Mendaugas, who is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
I just think that Justin will handle him. I mean, get handled rather.
Were you surprised at how easily Daniel controlled Corey?
No,
Really? Okay.
no, not at all. I predicted it. Of course, I'm rooting for Corey. I talk to Corey a lot. I'm a fan of him. I want the West to win, but it's just, to me, it was a huge mismatch.
Did you ever why based on just Daniel's track record or like anything personal experience or either of those
Just based off of Daniel's track record, really, and then based off of how Corey did with Giannis. Not that he did poorly, but if Corey was going to have a chance in that match, he had to beat Giannis, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I mean, dude, Daniel's a when I'm a huge fan of his stuff, man. And some of the lifts, man, he puts out doing like this pronate, like curling, like it's kind of mind boggling how small he is in the weight. He like literally curling double his body weight and shit like that. It's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, not double, but it's and like it's impressive. It's really impressive.
Yeah, he's a freak.
For sure. What do you think? Like I said, we had Lachlan on last week. He's going against Irakli. How do you feel about that match? King of the table.
Well, I really hope Lachlan can pull something off, but I think that he'll get 6-0'd.
Yeah.
To me, Lachlan is one notch under someone like Marcio, and Marcio got 6-0 by Irakli.
Yeah.
Lachlan doesn't seem to have figured out how to handle a top roll very well, and Irakli's top roll is very, very elite. I think it'll be more than anything that he's felt.
Even more than Sagers, really.
Yeah, I think that Irakli has a better top roll than Sandris. I'm not saying that Irakli would beat Sandris.
Sure, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah, but just pure top roll, I think Irakli has a better top roll.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Lachlan will be prepared for that. I don't think that, yes, he has a flop wrist, but I don't think that he's engaging it fast enough to put Irakli outside of his shoulder line. I don't see a path that Lachlan can win. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting for Lachlan. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think Lachlan even has been like, he even said he's going into this with a different mindset. He said, I think on Paul Italia's show, he was saying that, he went into the Sanders match with, I'm going to fucking beat this dude and where now he's going, dude, like, I know the levels are out there and I'm just hoping to see where I can hang and kind of be with,
Yeah,
again,
right. That'll probably give him motivation in the gym.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I don't think he really needs that though. I think he needs more time.
Yeah.
Lachlan's issue never seems to be his motivation. It just seems to be his execution, and the fact that he's locked in a country where there's no real competition.
Yeah.
But I mean, when there's no competition, you just have to figure things out.
And that's what he said. He said, like, he's like, how do you know what you can, where you can expose that if no one can expose you, and I think that's what it is, where I think, again, that's another thing with the West versus the East thing, this whole thing, it's just, there's so, you can go to, they're so close to these little countries, and they have, this training system.
So much denser.
Yeah.
Like the United States is not nearly as dense as Europe. Sure. Not even close.
Right.
So,
And especially when the war arm wrestling, where you have so many people that are in this, you got these elite dudes and this guy, and these guys do this way in Germany,
and we have the NFL.
We do have the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, all of our high level athletes aren't arm wrestling, where in other countries, that's not the case.
Right. Yeah. Or they're doing strongman, or some that actually pays real money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we also, there's a big match with Prunick and Michael Todd.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
I have Michael Todd as the slight favorite.
Really?
Yeah. I almost want to pick Prudnick, just because every single time I pick Michael Todd, he loses. So I want to pick Prudnick so Michael can win. But I mean, it's hard to deal with a King's move if you've never dealt with a King's move. It's, maybe Prudnick has it figured.
Has he never dealt with King's move? I mean, at least not at the level of Michael is what you assume, right?
No, I mean, who's at the level that Michael's at with a King's?
Right.
Nobody.
Devin maybe, but not even as good.
No, I don't even think so.
Yeah,
I think Michael's just pure King's move is the best ever. Just like, if you've never pulled the flop press, it's going to be hard for you to arm wrestle with Jerry.
Right.
And if you have your training partner try a flop press, it's not really going to emulate what Jerry is capable of.
Right. The pressure.
When you're facing a hook or a top roll, it's much easier to game plan for. So only because Prudnick hasn't dealt with it, I think that Michael is the favorite. If they were to have a rematch, I think Prudnick is crafty enough and smart enough to figure out how to deal with it the second time, and then I would favor Prudnick. But I'm gonna go Michael like 3-1.
Were you surprised how easy Prudnick did beat Todd though?
No.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to slow down so Todd could try to get his wedge set, but there was just no time for it.
Yeah. I mean, even that last round when the strap, I know it did stop a hair, but
not enough for a wedge.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So, Chance, obviously there's another big match, which I'm sure you had a little skin in the game on it. You had Jerry versus Gennady. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, of course it surprised me. I genuinely thought Gennady was going to win 6 or 3-0. Like, I didn't think it would be that much trouble, but Jerry proved to be stronger than I thought, and maybe Gennady proved to be a little bit more human than I thought.
Yeah. Do you think it's like how Neil picked up to use the word phrase he used? And I think it's kind of what you're alluding with Michael Todd. It's just that weirdo factor. What?
I hate when Neil Pickup says that.
But I do think it though. It's like Jerry is a weirdo like that.
Okay, we'll use a different word.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
he's a freak. He's strong. He's
but I'm saying, it's
unique.
Though, sure, unique. But you know what I'm saying. But those guys like that, like Jerry, like Michael, they're, unless you, like you said, it's how do you emulate that in practice? It's just so hard.
Did seeing the results of that match kind of change your thoughts on Jerry and where you and him stand in terms of having a match?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said it publicly a few times, like in a few live streams. I also said it in Coach Ray's interview.
Say it again.
But yeah, so yeah, and I was gonna say it again, but basically, if Jerry was even able to give Gennady one tough match, even if he lost 3-0, then I knew I wasn't quite ready for it. I know that I'll have to develop my elbow a little bit more before I'm ready for it. So it's still a match that I want at some point down the road. Just right now, I don't think it makes sense. Not that I wouldn't accept it, but I think I'd get crushed. I think I could slow it down, but I think I'd get 6-0'd.
You need to call out Jerry after he arm wrestles Gennady. Take a page out of take a page out of Ryan Bones.
Well, he's arm wrestling Hermes. What do you think about Jerry versus Hermes?
Oh yeah,
Jerry 3-0.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so.
Gennady, and I also said this before. Gennady was a harder matchup than Hermes is, but I still think Dave Chafee 3-0s Jerry, because Jerry cannot deal with Dave Chafee's style.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's one of those things where there's that thing where that styles make matchups, and then there's that one thing where it's like, I just can't see that dude doing that thing to that dude.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
don't see
mean?
it either. I love Hermes too. I just don't
Yeah,
see it
this
happen.
is awesome, dude.
Oh, we got a message I made. That was a question I want to ask. What do you think about Matt Mask versus
Krasimir, yeah.
Krasimir. I really am a huge fan of both guys. Matt Mass first taught me how to low hand top roll. Like he messaged me when I'm like 6 months in the sport, sending me videos on how to low hand top roll. So obviously I'm a really big fan of him. Krasimir has also been messaging me constantly on how to train. And I think Krasimir is vastly underrated for what he's done in his career. I mean, he beat John Brzenk in a super match. He's beat Levon. He's beat Gennady. He's beaten everyone that there is to beat. I think he's kind of on the way down. I'm rooting for Krasimir to win this match. I think Matt is going to kill him.
Why do you think that, Chance? Why do you think, because of all of, like you said, the success that Krasy's had in the years, why do you think, and he's not like he's an older man, it's like there's obviously the Hutchins.
Yeah, but there's
and the
Miles
Brzezinks.
though. Miles are real.
Sure, but I'm saying like within our sport, we have, Hutchins and Brzenk out there too. So
well, genetics, some people will respond better. Look, there's like Nick Best and strongman. That doesn't make any sense. It's like over 50 years old, still stronger than he was when he was at 22.
Sure. But I'm saying, what would you think that is?
I mean, it's really hard to know. It's not his training. I know he's training hard. I know his training hasn't changed much in the past few years. You can't say it's because he doesn't have people around him, because obviously he does. Bulgaria is stacked with arm wrestlers and people to train. It's not an IQ thing. He understands the table really well. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the level is increasing and he's not able to keep up. He's very, very public, and I do believe him when he says that he's always been a natural arm wrestler. If that's the case, the level is rising and it'll be hard for him to keep up, especially in the super heavyweight class, which is where he's trying to compete at, when really he's more of like a 220 guy.
Yeah.
Time to get on the sauce.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, that's what I mean. I honestly kind of would
that does
too.
Speaking of which, John Brzezink's been on a tear, getting stronger and stronger each week. He's got a match coming up versus Michael Todd.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Michael's the favorite.
Me too.
I don't know if John has the stamina to win it. John showed that he has the arm to win it. John also shown that his wrist is a little bit more vulnerable than it has been in the past. So it's hard to know. I won't be surprised regardless of the outcome, though.
Yeah, I think that's Michael's.
Yeah, I think, man, again, unless you're going against, like, Michael Todd is one of those dudes where, again, Revis was that height, I think unless you have that height and you're able to come forward and press in your lane, it's so hard to finish Michael, man. It really is.
The taller, longer arm definitely is.
I mean, look at the only two guys that beat him, really, Devin, Rivas, and, and Gennady was just kind of on top of him, just relentless there, where is Michael's 3 losses. But I mean, that's not 3 dudes that.
Yeah, those are 3 nasty dudes.
Yeah, up there. Yeah. What do you think of, speaking of, what do you think of the whole Vitali and, coming in third and everything? I mean, there's been they'll be honest, like I haven't seen too much. I just know that he placed third in that tournament, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, Vitali and Dimitri kind of had a battle, and then Vitali ended up losing to Ferret and
that's right. Yeah.
Zauer or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to know because it's not a super match setting, and all the rankings for the most part are based off of super matches. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, could it have been that they fatigued each other and the other guys had, an easy path to victory? Maybe. Because Zauer not too long ago placed like 5th place in world. So it could also just be that Vitali and Dimitri aren't as strong as they were, or mainly just Vitali. Vitali wasn't as strong as he was when he faced Levon. Also, Vitali really was ranked 2nd because he gave Levon the hardest match. That could have just been a style thing, because Vitali's 6'10" and has a wicked long arm. So maybe that top roll angle just gave Levon problems. Besides that, he hasn't beaten a lot of the top 10 guys.
Sure. How do you see the match with him and Dave?
I think Dave's going to win.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously I'm a little biased being North American, but I mean, I'm not delusional either. Dave just does really, really good against long arm top rollers.
Yeah. I mean,
why is that? Just his side pressure or his wrist?
Yeah, because you can crack his wrist a little and he can still drive sideways. Yeah. And he's applying a lot of back at the same time he's applying side. So really, if you're a long arm top roller, it's easy to get taken outside of your shoulder. And as a top roller, if you're outside of your shoulder, you probably already lost.
Right. Yeah. And Dave's just, I mean, Dave's still like, again, it just sucks. Like, I don't think anyone, maybe Luan, has beaten Dave best 2 out of 3. You know what I mean? It's like, Dave's like, it looks like, again, like look at his track record. Gennady, Morzov. I mean, he's worked those guys the first 2 rounds. So, yeah.
Yeah. It was, he's a drag racer.
Yeah.
Not an IndyCar.
Yeah.
Well, Chance, we're going to wrap it up here. It's getting late. We got to eat to bed. I know you do too. You got any words for BJ Fakakis? Hopefully he's watching.
No. BJ's a cool guy. I'm excited to pull him.
Cool. Awesome, man. Where can people find you, man? I know, and please, someone admins, put Chance Shaw's channel in the chat, and you guys please go follow Chance Shaw if you're not already and subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, Instagram at Chance Shaw, YouTube Chance Shaw. I mean, that's basically it. Facebook
Chance Shaw.
Sounds pretty gay.
Yeah, it's pretty gay. Yeah, no, same. This way, guys. We love it gay. And Chance, hopefully, if I don't see you or talk to you before then, I'll see you in December. It'll be fun.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, shoot me a message tomorrow, and we'll talk training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot me a message. I'll show you my favorite couches and chairs that I like to show.
Oh, perfect. Why don't you just show up with a chair for me in December?
I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have a folding chair just to make sure.
Bring me a chair.
One of those like camp ones you did. Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, swing by Walmart on the way from the airport.
One that's got a 350-pound rating.
Oh shit, nice. Yeah. All right, well we'll do. Well, me and Brand will talk chairs after we get.
You could sit on my lap in that now that I'm 270.
Sick. I'm a bit big though. I'm 203 right
That's
now.
True.
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna sign off here, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this episode of Your Morning BJ. That was the end of the show, and this is ended right here.
We're just ending it. Chance is with us. Stay gay.